Francis Howell High School, home of your Francis Howell Vikings. We should have a good one here today. It's going to be the Vikings taking on Wright City. Wright City coming in today in this first game of the season. And Michael, this game is pretty much 2 years in the making.
I was about to say, a highly anticipated game. It's pretty much inevitable. 2 years without baseball. The sunshine day, we couldn't, we unfortunate weather the last two, but we got to today's game. All the Vikings fans out there are excited to be tuned in today.
"100%, Michael. I couldn't agree more." As head coach Tony Perkins is meeting at home plate with the umpires of today's game, getting your starting lineups for you for Francis Howell. It's going to be looking like this. Number 3, Sam Maddox. He's going to be in center. So Subert, he'll be pitching on the mound today. McCutcheon at short. James at first. Will Doherty at third. Jackson Hetzel in left. Mario Colombo at the catcher position. Miller at second. And then Titus Sissel at right field. And on the other side for Wright City, on the bump for them today is going to be Kunkel. He'll be number 2 in the 8th position. Sorry about that. We had an interruption from the umpires. Probably going to get a lot of that this year, where people are going to be asking us if we're the official book or not when we're not. But anyways, back to it. Williams, he's going to be catching today. Wolf is going to be playing short. Johnson at first. Kellner at third. Gamble at left field. Kendall at second. Waters in right field. Once again, Kunkel pitching. And then Smith in center field for Wright City. This game is kind of 2 years in the making, Michael, and no baseball last year. They were just finishing up tryouts, just finishing up getting through those first few practices when everything was shut down due to COVID-19. That was, of course, the great Matt Shark's senior year. He was not able to play that, but this team loads up, it seems like, every year with more talent.
Yeah, you mentioned it best. Unfortunately for those seniors last year, right during tryouts, whenever you got a solid team, you mentioned Matt Shark, and unfortunately they couldn't get in. But now we're here, and it looks like everything's back to normal, and I'm sure this Vikings team's ready to take the field as always.
Last time these two teams played was all the way, obviously, back in 2019. It was a 10-2 win for the Vikings over Wright City. And Matt James threw 4 shutout innings with 8 Ks in that one. There's some high hopes and high aspirations for this Vikings team here this year, and couldn't agree more, Michael, as it seems like there's talent top to bottom no matter where you put them in the lineup, and it seems like this could be easily a team that could go into the Final Four.
Definitely. You mentioned it, we haven't had it in 2 years, so it's anybody's ball game. As long as they're playing their best baseball, it's anybody's ball game. We don't know what to expect, so I'm excited to get this ball game going.
And the first pitch of the 2021 season is underway. It's going to be high for a ball to center fielder Sam Maddox.
Batter getting ahead of the count for the first time in 2 years for this Vikings team.
Second pitch on the way. That one's also high, makes the count 2-0. Maddox starting center field, and he will be playing for a D1 team next year, Western Illinois University. We saw him so much on the basketball court. Maddox is just an athlete no matter where he is, and has to duck and cover for that one, as that one's a little high and inside on Sam. Makes the count 3-0.
As you can imagine, there's definitely probably a little bit of rust all over the field. As you mentioned, it's been a while since these teams played, and you're going to see that a little bit in pitching, I'm sure, today.
So 3-0 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Kunkel. It's up and outside. So ball 4 for Sam Maddox, just like that. Vikings have someone aboard. Coming up now, it's going to be number 6 for the Vikings. That's going to be Carson Subert. Max got his lead, pitches inside, taken for a ball from Subert. So quickly, 5 pitches now for the Wright City pitcher, no strikes.
Yeah, not a whole lot of green light, I'd imagine, these first couple innings, feeling out the pitcher and just getting into his groove.
Here's the 1-0. Runner going is Maddox. He's going to have to get down. He does. He's in there safe and easy as the throw is off target and late. So Maddox makes his way to second with the stolen base.
Yeah, getting a great jump on that on that pitch there, and heading the count 2-0. So that can never complain about that one.
So like you just said, 2-0 is the count. Maddox on second. And it shows bunt, does Subert. It's going to go down the line, but out of play, foul. It's picked up by the catcher for Wright City, Williams. And Subert now has a 2-1 count on him. Kind of a chilly day here. Definitely a game we were talking about before the broadcast, Michael. No, game we weren't really expecting to happen just to due to 5 days of straight rain, it seemed like, but great job by the maintenance and coaching staff to make sure this one happened. That one's also high, made it 3-1.
Yeah, very fortunate that we could get some sun today. A little chilly. That wind's whipping as you see the American flag out in center field, kind of whipping right back at us. But we got the sun showing, and this is March baseball.
3-1 count now on Subert, and he deals, and that's a ball. Ball 4. Man on first and second. Nobody out here to start early. Timeout on the field. Williams, the catcher for Wright City, is going to call the timeout. Now coming to the plate will be number 10, Jake McCutcheon, the shortstop playing today, the junior for Francis Howell. And you look up and down the lineup, they have one player that's a freshman and then a couple sophomores. The rest are juniors and seniors. And if you're head coach Tony Perkins, you definitely got to love that, huh, Michael?
Oh, definitely, especially whenever you got seniors going. Unfortunately, as we mentioned, the seniors last year didn't get to play, and get them out here today, so that your seniors are definitely ready to perform for their last year.
Man on first and second, nobody out. Ball is outside. There's a time. They're going to call a balk, so that'll move the runners over.
Yeah, you definitely can't complain about free bases. Anytime you can move those runners over, give the Vikings here 0 outs. Got your 3-hole hitter. Definitely a position you want to be in.
Kunkel in some trouble here in the first inning. That one's going to be hit out of play by McCutcheon. First actual strike, it seems like, of the game.
I was about to say, first contact we see of the 2021 season. Finally hearing the crack of the bat. This is a long 9 pitches right there.
So the 1-1 coming in just outside. It looked like maybe a little low. It's going to make the count 2-1 now on McCutcheon. Excuse me, 1-1. 1-1 is the count. No outs, 2-man on for McCutcheon. Trying to get those first runs going here. That is going to be a strike. Makes the count 1-2.
Like I said, you could imagine it's going to take a little bit for pitchers to get in their grooves, as they haven't played pitch competitively in years. Maybe a little bit of summer ball here and there, but due to circumstances, it's been a while.
Here's the 1-2, excuse me. That one's outside. Makes the count 2-2. McCutcheon, the junior, hits from the left side, but throws with his right hand. A 6-foot, 180-pound junior. And there's the 2-2. That's going to be called low for a ball. Full count coming for McCutcheon. Jake McCutcheon trying to get his first RBIs of the season. Maddox on third, Subert on second. Both reached on walks, both moved on a balk. And there's McCutcheon with a base hit up the middle. That's going to at least score one Maddox. Here comes Subert. Subert, he's going to round third. He's going to score easily. That's a 2 RBI base hit for Jake McCutcheon. And just like that, the Francis Howell Vikings are on the board and in the lead.
Definitely, as you mentioned, both runners got a great jump on that hit, kind of hit into that hole, and it's all about finding those gaps in baseball, and that's a perfectly well-executed single, driving 2 runs for the Vikings.
Back goes McCutcheon. Pickoff throw coming from Kunkel. So now is the Lindenwood commit. We've seen some Lindenwood baseball this year, Michael, and he's looking to make an action for the Lions. That's just inside off of Matt James's hands, hit in the air in the foul territory. Is it playable? And it is not. It's going to be called foul. So Jake McCutcheon has to go back to first, and Matt James gets another opportunity.
Yeah, got an unfortunate read on there for the third baseman. The sun, and I'm sure the shadows kind of played a factor in there for him.
And the wind swirling on that third base side.
Yeah,
Just see the flag in your picture in left center, just moving straight towards left center. And there's a ball outside. You can kind of tell how antsy Matt James is. He kind of really definitely wanted to go out for that one, but a good eye and a smart take that time for the senior, Matt James. 6'2" senior. He's playing first today, but he also pitches for the Vikings. And that's a base hit down the left-hand line. That's going to stay fair. McCutcheon, he's headed for third. There's problems with the left fielder in that left-handed corner. McCutcheon, he's going to score easily. Throw in the third off the mark. Matt James is in with an RBI double.
Yeah, that hit just rode that third base line all the way down and hit the right corner and got a bad bounce to have Matt James stand up for a double.
So now coming up to the plate is Will Doherty. Doherty, a Missouri Southern State commit to play baseball next year, the senior. Doherty has been on this team for 3 years, and if I'm going to give anyone credit really on this team, Will Doherty is probably one of the cleanest, smoothest baseball players I've ever seen, and that's including seeing professional ball. That's a high fly ball in the center field. Center fielder not going to be able to make the play. It's short. And here comes Matt James in the third. It's going to be held there. So it's going to be first and third now with nobody out.
Did a good job of hitting that shallow right center to where kind of a little confusion in the communication out there, and did a great job of dancing around and staying up for a single.
So now up to bat is Jackson Hetzel, a left fielder for the Vikings. Hetzel, one of the bigger players on the team, 6'3". Definitely provides a big bat. He's also going to Lindenwood along with Matt James, just not to play baseball. Hetzel's going to be playing football and for the Lindenwood Lions this coming fall. But if you can't tell by just listening, you can obviously tell now that up and down the lineup, there's 100% talent no matter which spot it is.
Yeah, all of them looking to extend their careers, their athletic careers, and looking forward to capitalize on senior year.
There goes Doherty. He's going to steal, and that's going to be a foul ball on the left side there. Third baseman couldn't make a play. Looked like he might have touched it, but nonetheless, he wasn't able to get to it, so that was able to make sure that he stayed foul. So back to first goes Doherty. Doherty was trying to make the catcher maybe make a throw to make sure Matt James could maybe score.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been able to squeeze in between those lines there, but fortunately got the foul call.
And Doherty's now, he's going to be caught in the pickle. And Matt James, he's just going to go home with it easily. And so Matt James will score, but does cost kind of there for the Vikings as Doherty is called out at second base.
Yeah, some heads-up base running from James over there, unfortunately had a bad read at first and almost got picked off, but James had the heads-up play and executed his way to home.
So that one's going to be a ball. This Hetzel's still in there. Jackson Hetzel trying to get that first AB under the belt here this season. And that's going to be inside as well on Hetzel. So on the score already now, Howell for Wright City, nothing.
Yeah, although how capitalize on those runs, It's a little clear head for Kunkel on the bench or on the mound, so with empty bases.
And that one's also going to go outside for a ball. count now 3 balls and 1 strike on Hetzel. And here's the 3-1. That's going to be high. It's going to be a ball 4 to Jackson Hetzel. So Hetzel gets on for the first time this season as well. The 7th hole hitter now, Mario Colombo, the catcher, and it's going to be a mound visit for Wright City and Wright City's head coach, and definitely not the way you wanted to start your season, but you got to feel bad if you are Wright City. You know, they had somewhat of successful 2019. They were 13-11. They lost to Mexico 1-0 in their final game, but definitely not starting 2021 on the right foot right now.
Yeah, you know, it's the first game in 2 years, so you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to have a little bit of rust on your pitchers, considering that it's been a while since they've pitched competitively. So, you know, you just got to chalk this first inning up and focus on those bats.
So the score is 4-0, 1 out. Hetzel on first, Colombo coming up to bat. Number 7 playing catcher, Mario Colombo, also going somewhere to play college baseball. He'll be going to East Central College in Illinois, and Shane Kirby. Back goes Hetzel. Hetzel doesn't even have to get dirty for that one. He's up and easy. Here is the 1-0, and that's going to go outside for a ball.
Definitely struggling with his control, though, today. You know, whenever he does miss his strike zone, he misses, but whenever he finds it, he's kind of putting it on a platter for him.
So the 1-0 coming in for Colombo. That's outside as well. Good work by Williams, though. A lot of bad pitches in the dirt, outside or inside on the batters, but hasn't really let one go by yet.
Yeah, definitely has a great reaction time behind that plate. As you know, you mentioned he's getting his body in front of everything that's on the dirt for sure.
And there goes Hetzel. Outside this ball, throw down the second. It's going to be late. Hetzel gets in there safe, but the ball goes in the center. But Hetzel's going to be staying at second. So Hetzel moves over the second base with the stolen base.
No, he did a great job getting that ball down to second. Unfortunately, it was a little mishandled. And with Hetzel's long strides, you got to have the perfect jump to get him out down there.
And that is going to be a foul ball as it hits Colombo's bat. He went down, just didn't take it with him, so it's going to be a strike against Colombo, but you're Wright City, you'll definitely take it.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate, I guess you could call it bounce there, as you know, he didn't get that bat out of the way and got himself a foul ball.
3-1 is the count now. Here it is. And that's going to be strike 2, full count coming towards Colombo.
Painted that bottom corner there, you know. If you can find a strike zone like that, you can really get yourself back into this game.
Hetzel gets his lead at second. Kunkel gets the sign from Williams. Gives him ahead of the nod. Colombo trying to extend the inning. There goes Hetzel, and that's going to be a strike 3. A good curveball that time from Kunkel. It froze Colombo. And that's well. Hetzel will move to third, but Colombo is the second out of the inning. So now coming up is going to be Miller for Francis Howell. That's going to be a ball in the dirt. Hetzel didn't like how far that one got away, so he'll stay at third. Caleb Miller, one of the younger players on the team. He's only a sophomore. He's used as a utility. Today he's playing second. And that's going to be a strike there. So maybe Kunkel settling down here for Wright City.
Yeah, he's finding that bottom right side of the plate there. And, you know, if you can paint that corner, it's a hard ball for batters to reach down, get down low for. So.
And that's going to be a high fly ball in the right field. It's going to be going out of play, foul. So that's going to be the second strike against Miller. So 1-2 count coming for the Vikings sophomore. That's going to go outside, though. For ball. So command definitely an issue here for Kunkel early. Has got a couple outs, though. Only needs one more to get out of this rough start. And only have 4 against him.
Yeah, you know, if you can walk away with only giving up 4 in that first inning, it seemed like that inning, you know, he struggled with control, then you get a clear head, you know. Walking away with 4 is definitely attainable.
And that's going to be low on Miller for a ball. So full count now on Miller. 3-2 is coming. Hetzel on third. Mason Kunkel trying to get out of this inning. And that's going to be high against Miller, and that's going to be ball 4. So that's going to be Miller on first, Hetzel on third, with bringing Titus Sissel, the youngest player for sure on this team, just a freshman, now coming up to bat in his first at-bat as a Viking. So first and third, 2 outs now for Sissel. Miller gets his lead, and it's quite a big one. Miller goes immediately. Ball is thrown outside. They'll just let him go, and he steals second easily. So first inning, that's been 2 walks, a single, and a double is what's brought in the 4 runs for the Vikings. And that's going to be fouled off the end of the bat for Sissel. It's going to put a strike against him. Ball and a strike. Now for Titus Sissel. His dad is Darren, who is an assistant coach for the France-style baseball team. Titus Sissel trying to make his mark here already as a Viking. Good curveball thrown into the strike zone. Definitely started outside, brought it in. Makes it a 1-2 count now. Long first top of the first, about 19 minutes. Here's the 1-2. That's going to be fouled, hit hard toward the right city bench. Stays alive, does Sissel.
You know, starting as a freshman, though, you got to give credit there. You know, after having essentially a season off of baseball, he's coming straight into the big-time show and ready to make his mark, as you mentioned.
So the 1-2, that's going to be hit in the left field. 2 outs. The wind is going to blow it foul, though.
You know,
good job by Sissel to stay alive there.
We mentioned that American flag whipping towards that left field, and had it been a clear day, that might have been a perfectly executed little bloop single to left.
Yeah, bloop single on the left when scored the 2 runs that are on right now with Miller and Hetzel, but nonetheless it did not. That's going to hit Miller, or Sissel, excuse me, so he'll go the first, so it'll be bases loaded with 2 outs for Sam Maddox. So the Vikings' first inning of their season, they have batted around. So Maddox bases loaded, trying to drive in a couple runs. He got on with the walk, stole second, was called to third on a balk, scored later. That's going to be hit out of play, foul. So Maddox gets a strike on him early. Here's the 0-1 to Sam Maddox. That's going to be hit in the right field. That's going to get down for at least 2 runs. Hetzel's coming in easy. Here comes Miller. Miller, he's going to score. That's going to go to third. Does Sissel. It's going to be first and third with 2 outs. Almost a bases clearing single for Sam Maddox.
Yeah, doing a great job having a little slap hit towards that right field. A little opposite action, wasn't expecting it, and did a great job driving in 2 runs there.
Maddox gets in 2 runs with that single. And we're going to have a first inning pitching change here early for Wright City. Just like that, Kunkel could not get out of the first against a very good Francis Howell team. And it'll be Carson Suber coming up next. And pitching now for Wright City is going to be number 24, Hayden Waters, for Wright City. We'll take a quick break here on the Howell Activities Network. You're watching Francis Howell Baseball.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
Back here at Francis Howell High School, it's going to be first and third. Kissel at third. Maddox at first after he just drove Kunkel out of the game. 6-0 is the score. And up to bat is going to be Carson Stewart, the pitcher. Maybe trying to help him out some more and give himself some more insurance. There goes Maddox quickly. That throw is going to be high for a ball. So it's going to be second and third now with 2 outs. 6-0 here at Howell. A long first inning here for Wright City. They've been standing out there now for over 20 minutes. Here comes the 1-0. That's going to be called a strike. Might have been just a little high, but nonetheless.
Caught those letters coming across the plate, and that's a good pitch. It makes it up a little bit.
Hayden Waters getting his first action of the season. Waters, only a sophomore, getting some time on the bump here against Howell. That's going to go outside for a ball, makes it the count 2-1. So here's the 2-1. That's going to be hit in the right center. That's going to be going, chasing after. That's going to get down for at least a double. And Maddox and Sissel are going to score easy, and that's a 2 RBI double for Carson Subert. And just like that, the onslaught continues.
Yeah, this Vikings offense doing no time to get down to it early here and starting the season out right.
So 2 outs now makes the score 8-0 here in the top of the first. Here's Jake McCutcheon. McCutcheon's last time up, he had a single. He went around to score. That's going to be called for a strike.
He's how bad's wasting no time getting going.
Here's the 0-1. That's going to be high and outside for ball on Jake McCutcheon. So Subert reached his last time up with a ball, with 4 balls and a walk. Now that time he got the double that scored 2. All these runs, now 4 of them, coming with 2 outs.
Yeah, just whenever he thought he had a full count with nobody on, and unfortunately Kunkel walked that guy, and one thing led to another, and they scored an extra 4.
So here's McCutcheon. He's going to try to keep the inning going. That's going to go out of play to the left side. McCutcheon now has 2 strikes on him. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jake McCutcheon, this junior, trying to keep the inning going. Trying to bring out Subert, who just scored 2 more with an RBI double in the right center. And that's going to hit the second base, taken cleanly by the second baseman over the first. That's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. So finally some end of the inning action for Wright City. And they're going to toss it over to the Vikings, where the Vikings will take their defensive efforts now for the first time this season. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Viking Baseball. They're up 8-0 here in the bottom of the first.
Whether it's balls and strikes, fouls, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know that they would never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we could teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association. Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you have answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscientious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
Back here at the H, Wright City now trying to maybe crawl back from an 8-run deficit that started there in that first inning by a good first inning from the Vikings bats. Up first for Wright City is going to be Williams, the catcher. He was definitely probably going to have some tired legs after this one, after that first long inning. So Subert, he's on the mound for the Vikings. His first pitch of the 2021 season is going to be low for a ball.
Yeah, like I said, I was curious to see today how pitching came, because 2 years without baseball, it's a long time. So curious to see how they're getting out as he follows up with a good pitch there.
So count is 2-0. That one is going to be called a strike on the foul tip. So 2-1 is the count for Subert against Williams of Wright City. It's getting Doherty at third, McCutcheon at short, Colombo catching. Ties up the count. That time does Williams. It's 2-2. Second is Miller, first base, Matt James. Left field, Jackson Hetzel. Center field, Sam Maddox. Right field, Titus Kissel. Here is the 2-2 now for Subert. That's just outside for a ball. It's going to load the count up.
That looked good coming across the plate. I was surprised he didn't get that one there.
So full count here against Williams to start the season. That's going to be outside as well. And that's actually going to fold the count up, excuse me.
Again, that one looks pretty good coming out. He's bringing in some nasty stuff here early on.
And that's going to be hit up in the air. See if it stays playable for James or Colombo. It won't. It's going to go out of play. on the right side, so we'll have to deal again, does Subert.
Stewart, as you mentioned, he's bringing in some nasty stuff though early on. Painting the right corners you want, hitting his targets. Fortunately, not getting a lot of these calls early.
Subert, full count. He's going to deal. That's going to be off of Colombo's glove for a strikeout. Matt James able to hold down the throw. That's going to be the first out of the inning. So good start there. Time for Carson Subert. Gets the first out of the inning against Wright City.
Colombo doing a good job, tracking that ball down and getting him at first there, as it hit all the way back here at the backstop. Was able to get him out.
A better job by Matt James picking that one. Colombo threw that ball into the dirt, hit the chalk on that foul line, and James still able to hold on. That's going to be a strikeout side against now Wolf, the shortstop playing today for Wright City. The 0-1 coming. That's going to be low for a ball. Wind kind of, knock on wood, dying down here as that flag doesn't look to be blowing as much.
Yeah, it's coming in flashes, but once it comes, it's whipping.
That's going to be high and away from Wolf. Makes the count now 2-1 with one out here in the bottom of the first. That's going to be a foul ball off the backstop right in front of us here. 2-2 now is the count.
Umpire walking the ball. You don't see that a whole lot, Typically he waits for the catcher there and wanting to get some exercise and get his steps in, I guess.
So 2-2 is the count. Subert trying to sit down the second man of the inning. And he's going to, with the strikeout, Carson Subert gets his second K of the year. That's going to make it 2 outs, bringing up Johnson, the first baseman.
As I mentioned earlier, Subert's really doing a great job hitting his target today. He's had no problem with his control and really looking sharp out there.
So here is Kyle Johnson, the first baseman against Subert. Subert deals. It's going to be just outside, I think, for a ball. Subert trying to get those outside calls. Hasn't really gotten them yet. Here's the 1-0. He's going to get that one. That was a pretty pitch from Carson Subert. Subert also a senior. Here's the 1-1. And that's going to be hit in the center field towards Sam Max. Max coming in on it. He's going to be able to make a play, and wow, what a play by Miller. From second base, he ran all the way to short center and was able to make the over-the-head catch, and what a catch that was, and that's where we'll end the first. 8-0 is still the score. You're listening to Howell Baseball here on the Howell Activities Network.
Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you have answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscientious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
bag here at the H. Now up is going to be number 15, Matt James. He had an RBI double his last time up. Trying to maybe continue that here and get some momentum going here in the top of the second. 8 first runs, 8-run inning was the first inning for the Vikings. Here's the first pitch to James. That's going to be called a strike. So the 0-1 now coming to James from Waters. That's going to hit in the left center. That's going deep towards left field, and that's going to hit the bottom of the fence. James, he's going to go in the second standing up. A stand-up double now for Matt James in the left center.
Yeah, you know, he's 2 for 2 today with 2 well-driven balls. You know, that first one rode that third baseline, and that one just a little bit more under it. That thing might have cleared that fence there. Great at bat so far.
Here's now Will Doherty. Doherty, the third baseman. He reached on a single, but was caught in a pickle his last time on the base paths. There's going to be time from Doherty. He gets it granted, so Waters steps off, and James goes back to second. Resets it now. Doherty trying to get more RBIs under his belt here today. That's going to be hit high in the left center. That's going to get down for at least a single. James, he's going to round third, but gets holed up by Perkins. Doherty on base once again with a single. So it's going to be first and third. Nobody out.
They are spraying hits out there today. I mean, they're making hard, well-driven hits here and not missing a beat on the offensive side for this Vikings team.
So now here's Jackson Hetzel. Hetzel, he was walked last time. Maybe trying to do the exact same thing. Doherty on first, James on third. Maybe going to try to get in the pickle and get James to score. Waters just steps off. He pretty much knows what's coming from Doherty. So Hetzel looking for the first pitch. He gets it. He's going to hit that one to short. Trying to turn 2 is Wright City. Doherty, he's going to be caught up at second. He's going to be out, but Hetzel drives in the RBI. So Doherty once again caught up at second, but James comes around and scores. It's now 9-0 for Howell now against Wright City. Now up is Mario Colombo, the catcher. He struck out looking last time. He was the second out of the inning. And there goes Hetzel. He's going to be able to get in there quite easily. He steals his second base of the day.
Got another great jump on that ball and really was able to swipe that bag pretty easy there.
So France now trying to keep up where they left off exactly last time. Here's the pitch. That's going to hit the third. And can't make the play. Can the third baseman for Wright City. And that's going to be Colombo reaching on an air now.
Yeah, you know, I think unfortunately the third baseman down there had a little too much on his mind. As a player on second, he was kind of focused on him, but he also was focused on the runner at first and just picked his eye up off the ball there.
So now it's going to be a utility runner now for Francis Howell. Kaylor Miller's now up to bat. And now, go ahead, Mike.
Miller trying to follow up a excellent defensive play over at second earlier, a little over the shoulder grab, trying to follow it up with the at bat here.
So pitch running now is going to be Alex Pipes. He's slated to go the first game tomorrow of their doubleheader. That's going to be strike 2 against Miller. And you were just mentioning it, Miller had a fantastic over-the-head play for Francis Howell. His last time up, he walked and eventually scored on the double from Subert. So the 0-2 now coming to Miller. Man up first and second. That's going to be low and outside. There goes the runners. Moving over his Pipes to second. Hetzel to third. So now it's going to be second and third with one away.
Runners both playing some heads-up base running there. It really didn't take too wild of a bounce, but they got their read on it and took off.
So Miller can score 2 more with the base hit here. That's going to be low and outside, though, against Miller to make the count 2-2. Here's the 2-2 to Miller. He kind of ducked on one, kind of got lucky maybe. It looked like a good curveball that just didn't curve enough to catch the zone. It's going to fold the count up, but easily maybe could have been called a strike there.
Those are ones where you kind of look back at the dugout with a little smile on your face because you might have walked away with them. I remember whenever I was playing, I used to have a lot of those.
And he's just going to fight that one off. Good at bat there to make sure he's not called out on that one.
Those are ones where you don't make eye contact with the ump and just keep that smirk on your face.
So full count here now once again to Miller. And that's going to be outside. Miller's going to draw the walk. Bases loaded now coming up for Titus Kissel. 1 out.
Although a freshman has some excellent taste in walk-up music, bumping a little old T.I.
So bases loaded now for Kissel. Kissel, the freshman, going to be called a strike outside. Waters trying to get out of this one with hopefully no more runs. 1 out now, though. Here comes the 0-1. That's going to be high and outside. Hetzel on third. Pipes on second. Miller on first. And that's going to be hit out of play. Foul. Puts 2 strikes now on Titus's. And he's going to hit that one in the right field. That's high and playable, though, for the right fielder. He's not going to be able to make the catch as it hits the ground, and Miller's going to be tagged up at seconds. He did his due diligence and to make sure that one was caught, but Hetzel will score. And so Colombo, or Pipes I should say, moves to third. Miller, he's going to be out at second. This will be on first. Does bring another run across for Howell as they're up now 10-0. With 2 outs against them. And coming up is Sam Maddox once again, so he's looking to bring up his 3rd at bat already here, only in the 2nd inning. That's going to be high and outside to Maddox, so Waters not able to get any help there. still allows a run but gets the out. That's going to be a strike against Maddox. And that's going to be hit out of play towards the right side, foul. So that's going to be 2 strikes now against Maddox. Maddox trying to keep the inning alive and keep it going. Add maybe a couple more RBIs. He got a couple last time with a double, and that's going to be outside for a ball.
Definitely, this top of the lineup has definitely been getting some good contact on the ball. We've seen James, we've seen Maddox. They've all been hitting, doing well, really well, and not wasting any time getting going.
It's going to go strike 3 against Maddox. He thought that was maybe inside, trying to get out of the way to let it not hit him, but that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. As Maddox goes down looking. And so that's going to be 3 outs against the Vikings, and we'll go to the bottom of the 2nd. It's 10-0 Howell in front of Wright.
Role models are more important than ever in today's society. You can serve as a role model for others the next time you display good sportsmanship at a high school athletic event. Good sports are winners and are also vital to preserving our fine sports traditions. So the next time you attend a sporting event, remember to be a good sport and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station. The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and spectators leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how history will remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop better citizens in our communities for tomorrow. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
Back here at France Howell, 10-0 is the score in favor of the Viking. Carson Subert coming out for his 2nd inning of work. He sat him down 1-2-3. Had 2 Ks, and then the beautiful play by Miller. That was a ball definitely over his head, it looked like, but he made the play over the shoulder catch, looking like Randy Moss in short center. Subert back in action. Up is now Kellner for his first at-bat of the game, and he's going to try to bunt it and catches a piece of the bat, but it's going to go straight down and be called a strike.
Yeah, put it down at the right time. Just couldn't get enough contact on that.
So the 0-1 from Subert. That's a beautiful pitch from Subert. Just didn't catch a part of the zone late there, but still a great pitch from Carson. It's 1-1 now to Kellner. He's playing 3rd today. He's going to catch a piece of that one, and that's going to go foul. Kellner made that error in that 2nd inning. That kept that inning going. talking about how experienced the Vikings are, but we didn't talk about how unexperienced this Wright City team is. It looks like they only have one senior on that whole team. Everyone else underclassmen and juniors.
Yeah, a lot of sophomores and looks like only a handful of juniors as well. So, you know, I'd imagine they probably took a hit last year, considering they probably had a decent amount of upperclassmen, you know, that they probably lost due to the situation.
Kellner, he's going to go down swinging there for the first out of the inning. So make that 3 Ks now for Carson Subert. Now it's going to be Gamble. He's playing left field today. That's going to be called a strike on Gamble.
He said really effectively throwing that curve here. You know, he's painting the right corners and having the battery look.
And Colombo going to have to go to the dugout for maybe a different glove. See what the issue here is maybe. And that's going to be a strike. Probably should have let that one go. Gamble should have, but nonetheless, he maybe went after it in frustration, maybe setting in now for Wright City, and 0-2 count now coming to Gamble. Subert trying to set him down. It's going to be low in the dirt, though.
Yeah, that last pitch, I was worried that it might have been a hit batter there, but he was aggressive at it.
And that's going to be strike 3, batter out. So good job by Carson Subert to keep on going where he left off last inning. 2 up, 2 down now to start the second. Up to bat now is going to be Kendall playing second base now for Wright City. That's going to be ball outside. And have to mention Carson Subert now. He's looking at his Twitter now, and he's also going to our alma mater, Lindenwood University, next year. So good pitcher and good talent going about 20 minutes away down the road to Lindenwood.
Definitely got a good pipeline going from the H to Lindenwood. Good to see.
That's going to be hit in the left field. Hetzel maybe didn't see it there. That's going to be the first hit of the afternoon for Wright City, and Kendall, gets on with the single, bringing up Waters, the right fielder. So 2 outs, 1 on now for Waters, the right fielder. Hayden Waters trying to keep it going.
You know, nowadays it seems to be plays for just about everything in baseball nowadays. So you see a lot of the Wright City plays actually having, you know, the plays on their wrist with the wrist guards, and just interesting to see how the game has changed.
Pick off, and he's going to be safe. Just back in goes Kendall. Good pick-off move that time from Carson Subert.
Definitely had a good move there, and like you said, it looked like he might have had him there for a second.
There's Subert. First pitch now goes to Waters for a strike. Gets a big lead. Does Kendall. He's going to be picked off that time. Good job from Carson Subert. Good job from Matt James. to tag him out, and Kendall just got a little too aggressive. No at bat that time for Waters. He'll pick up where he left off next inning. But a good job that time from Carson Suber and Matt James. That's where we'll end the bottom of the second and the second inning. 10-0 still in favor.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
Back here at the H, top of 3, 10-0 coming up to bat for the Vikings. Still going to be Carson Suber. He's pitching fantastic, clean innings so far and trying to add some maybe more to him. And the rules in high school baseball is 15 runs after 3 and 10 after 5. So if the Vikings could pour on a few more and have a clean bottom of third, we'll get out here kind of early tonight.
Yeah, you know, if you're looking at an opportunity for that in your first game, they haven't missed a step and got something good to build on for sure.
Here's the 0-1 now to Subert. He's going to hit that ball up the middle for a base hit. Carson Subert gets on the board here early with a leadoff single. Now coming up to bat is going to be McCutcheon, Jake McCutcheon, playing shortstop today. He also does play second for the Vikings. McCutcheon, just a junior, so he still has definitely a lot more years on this team. First pitch coming to McCutcheon. Looked like Subert might have gone, didn't. He stayed home at first. McCutcheon, he kind of reminds me of Anthony Rizzo and how he stands over the plate with his hands and looks for maybe that ball to hit him, but
he definitely likes getting up and close with that plate. And mentioned that, or I noticed that a couple of bats of his ago.
That's gonna be high and outside against McCutcheon.
You know that back left foot is practically touching the batter's box there, batter box line.
Along with his hands, if you see his hands, it's pretty much, or his elbow, I should say, is in front of the umpire's face, right over home plate. And so it's 10-0 here. Vikings getting runs scored from essentially almost everybody but Doherty and Colombo. Here's the 2-1. That's going to be called a strike against McCutcheon. Subert reach on first with that base hit in the right center. And there goes Subert. He's going to be up there easy as that's ball 4 for Jake McCutcheon. So it's going to be first and second, nobody out. Now for Matt James. Matt James, part of that clean pickoff throw from Carson Subert, and was able to get Kendall out on that last time. First and second, nobody out. Here's to James. He's going to hit that one way out of play behind the backstop for a strike. Matt James batting cleanup today, playing first. He has scored both times he's been up, and he's hit the ball into the gaps both times for doubles. Trying to continue that here. He's going to hit that ball deep in the left field. Left fielder plays it nicely, makes the catch, and that's going to be the first out of the inning.
Seeing the ball really well across the plate, though. That's third, well hard, very struck hit there.
So now it's going to be Will Doherty playing third today. Trying to keep it going for the Vikings. Will Doherty, we were talking about it, he looks like kind of a baby bull. Not the tallest guy, but definitely has some muscle on him. Doherty, 190 pounds, gets the first pitch high and inside for a ball. So now here's Waters, and that's going to be a stolen base. And the third baseman can't hold on to that one. Takes it to first and able to throw out Doherty. So a good job that time from the third baseman and able to throw out Doherty, but the runners do move over each spot.
Yeah, you know, that ball was so well struck that third baseman did just about all he could, you know, did a great job getting his body in front of it, and those are ones that you just kind of let it eat you up as long as it's in front of you.
So 2 outs, 2 on now for Jackson Hetzel. He's going to swing and miss on that first one.
It was a good job throwing that off-speed pitch, first pitch, and had him way ahead of that one.
Here's the 0-1. Hetzel's going to hit that one in the right field. Playable for the right fielder. Can he make a play? He cannot. They're going to call it a foul ball. Was on the right side of the line. So Hetzel will get another opportunity to bat.
Yeah, right fielder actually doing a very good job tracking that down, actually. Almost was able to come up with the play as it was out of bounds.
McCutcheon on second. Suber on third. Waters to pitch to Hetzel. Timeout called once again. And Hetzel's going to hit that one in between short and third. Subert scores easily. Here comes McCutcheon. The throw to the plate. McCutcheon, he's going to score. And Hetzel's going to move over the first with an RBI single and moves over the second on the throw. So McCutcheon and Suber both scoring, makes it 12-0 here in the top of the third. Up to bat now is going to be Colombo, the catcher. He's reached on the air and struck out looking here in his 2 at-bats. And that's going to be a strike, a good pitch that time from Waters.
So far, that's about the third batter in a row that we've seen off-speed pitch thrown successfully across the plate for a strike there.
Yeah, that first pitch, Waters is throwing right over the plate, the breaking ball, and it looks pretty good every time. He's going to throw it again. That one's going to go over the third baseman. Hetzel, he's going to round third. He's going to score easily. The left fielder can't handle the ball. And there goes Colombo in the second, sliding safe. So Hetzel scores, and Colombo gets on first, reaches the second on the air on left field.
That bloop single turns into a double there as he gets a great read as he sees the left fielder has a bad bounce on it.
So now Miller, the second baseman, trying to keep it going, and how resilient does this Viking baseball team seem? You know, they were down, had 2 strikes on them, 2 outs, could have folded and gone back out to play some defense, but you know, they have scored now 2 runs with 2 outs. And that's going to be a strike into Miller. Miller, he reached on base on balls both times up. Caleb Miller gets the pitch. It's going to be in the dirt, and there goes Colombo. He's going to slide in, or excuse me, Pipes. He's going to slide in the third. He's going to be safe on the stolen base in front of him. So we know Pipes is definitely quick with it. So he slid in the second or third there with the stolen base. And that's going to be a swing and a miss that time from Miller. 13-0 is the score. Vikings considered the visiting team here today due to it being tournament play. And Miller, he's going to hit that one out of play on the right side. Caleb Miller getting his first at-bats of the season for head coach Tony Perkins. Now it's going to be a ball and inside on Miller. It's going to make the count 2-1. And if you're Wright City, you can't think about this loss as of right now, despite any comeback. And that's going to be strike 3 looking on Miller. A good breaking ball from Waters. He went back to that one, but they're back in play tomorrow morning. Both teams are. So that's where we'll end. The bottom or the top of the third, 13-0 is the score in favor of Francis Howell. We'll take a quick timeout. You're listening to Viking Baseball here on the Howell Activities Network.
Whether it's balls and strikes, fouls, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know that they would never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we could teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
$13-0 is the score. Subert still on the mound trying to keep the line moving and keep Wright City off the scoring board. Coming up to bat now is going to be Waters. He was up to bat last time, but Kendall was picked off at first base from Subert to Matt James. So here's Subert with the first pitch. That's going to be called a strike. Caught the outside edge of the plate there. Subert now doing clean work. He struck out the first 2 guys of each inning he's faced. That's going to be a ball outside. So that makes the count 1-1. And that's going to be right down the pipe. Strike 2 against Waters. Waters now.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, Subert has had no problem with his control today. I mean, he hasn't missed a beat since the last time he's played, for sure.
And that's going to be outside. That time makes the count 2-2. Trying to maybe think of making Waters throw that one outside. And that's going to be strike 3, batter out. And just like that, Carson Subert gets that first out of the inning here in the bottom of the 3rd.
You know, Waters, another one of those sophomores we were talking about. I mean, this is a young team, and you know, like I said, they probably did see an effect from last year as we saw a couple guys leave early.
Just like that, Subert gets that first one to go to the DH, Hunter Reiner.
Hunter Reiner, I think, is pretty good.
Lots of R's in that one.
That's a tough one there.
Subert the 0-1. That's going to go foul. So 0-2 is the count already now to the DH for Wright City.
Hunter Reiner, the only senior on this Wright City team, so trying to get his senior year going early here and make some noise for this quiet offense today.
Here's Subert, and that's going to be hit high and shallow for Miller once again. He'll make the play, and that's the second out of the inning, excuse me. That's going to bring up Smith, the center fielder.
Now that wind's howling a little right at us now. That flag shifts speed. Might need to bring a blanket next game.
Right. And that's showing bunt is Smith, and that's going to hit the umpire. Did he pull it back or call a strike? I'm not too
It looked
sure.
like it made some contact on that one, but I'd imagine it's a strike. We heard a loud thud from that umpire's protector there. And, it's always good whenever you see the umpire still standing after a pitch like that.
Colombo gave that umpire some time as he went out and talked to Carson Subert. Here's Subert now. Bunt again, that's going to go way out of play behind us, and you don't see that too often. A foul ball over the backstop, foul off a bunt attempt.
Yeah, you know, if it's a shallow one, though, I'm definitely ready. Well, I'll stand up and step foot for you.
Definitely need to bring our gloves to the game next time. Here is the 1-2. Didn't get the call.
It looked like he wanted to, but looks like he pulled it back late. Had second thoughts on it and pulled it back.
Yeah, definitely stepped back and was about ready to ring him up, but didn't. And here it is again. That time he will, though. Subert strikes him out, and another 1-2-3 for Carson Subert. And we'll go to the top of the 3rd, or excuse me, the top of the 4th, where the Vikings maybe look to get a few more runs on the board. That now makes it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ks for Carson Subert. You're listening to Viking Baseball here on the Howell Activity Network.
Whether it's balls and strikes, fouls, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know that they would never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we could teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
top four. 13-0 is the score. Howell in favor of Wright City. Coming up the bat is now Titus Kissel. Kissel's walked and reached on an error. So it's the top of the fourth. Nobody out, and Titus Kissel, the freshman, in his third at bat as a Viking. He's going to hit that one in between first and second base, and he's going to round first and get his first hit as a Viking. Many more to come for sure. Now here comes Sam Maddox, the senior. And Coach Perkins is going out to Waters, and that's exactly what they were doing, is they got that ball from the pitcher, as that is Titus Kissel's first hit as a Viking. So now Waters has to face Maddox. Maddox struck out looking to end the second. He's going to take a strike there. Didn't like that one either.
Yeah, like you said, gotta be a special moment for Kissel there, and as he has a long experience ahead of him, but great to get that weight off your shoulders there with that first hit.
He's going to swing the bat. That time does Maddox. Going back is the left fielder. Makes a play underneath. It's going to be the first out of the inning. So Maddox now flies out to left, bringing up Carson Subert once again. Subert, he's walked and has a double and a single. So trying to keep that line moving with maybe a triple or a homer now maybe.
Going 2 for 2 on his day as he's pitching as well. Doing a great job helping himself out.
Back has to go Kissel. He's going to be safe. And that's going to be hit right up the middle by Subert. And Kissel will move over the second. Subert with his third hit of the day.
Textbook base hit there, right up the middle, line drive. No one was there, and like I said, they're 3 for 3 on a day you're pitching a gym, essentially. It's a good day.
So now that's going to bring up McCutcheon. Jake McCutcheon, the shortstop. He is 2 for 3 today, or I should say 1 for 2. He has a single. He grounded out to second and walked. That's going to go foul off the backstop. McCutcheon now, he's going to hit that one in the gap. That's going to score at least one. Coming around third is Kissel. Going to third is Subert. He's coming to plate. He'll score easily. RBI double that time for Jake McCutcheon.
Aggressive base running. Has really got a great read on that hit and was able to make it from home from first there. So not bad at all from the Howell Vikings.
Makes it now 15-0 in favor of the Vikings. So Vikings get 3 outs when Wright City is up to bat. This one is over. Up to bat, though, is Matt James. James looking for more. That's going to be a ball in the dirt. That's high and inside on Matt James.
How Vikings, you know, we mentioned it. These bats have not been quiet at all today. You know, haven't missed a beat, and really doing an effective job getting runs across the board.
McCutcheon being looked at, making sure he's awake as Waters, the pitcher.
Wanted to go for him, but no one was quite there.
And that's going to be hit into the gap, trailing towards right center. And Matt James, he's going to have another RBI single as he holds up at first. McCutcheon scores easily, makes it 16-0. Matt James keeping it rolling and keeping the line moving for the Vikings. 16-0 with only one out here in the top of the fourth. Looks to be maybe a pitching change coming for Wright City, and that's exactly what will happen.
Looks like that'll be number 6, Devin Faust, a sophomore for this Wright City team. As you mentioned, a very young team, and looking to make his mark on the Wright City team.
Yeah, he'll be coming in the game. We'll see where he's playing, but coming in the pitch is going to be number 5 for Wright City. That's going to be Hayden Kendall. Kendall was originally playing second base, so it looks like
actually a junior for this team as well. So
like Faust will be going to second base. Coming in from right field, going back to right field, I should say, was Waters for the starting pitcher for Wright City. We'll take a quick break for this pitching change here at the H. It is 16-0 in favor of I think Bjorn. Back here at Francis Howell. Now in the pitch for Wright City is going to be number 5, Hayden Kendall. Started this game at second. That's going to be Doherty with a hit in fair territory over the third, and he'll be safe at first. First baseman was brought off the bag. So it's going to be first and second now. Doherty doing a good job. And Wright City head coach is going out to maybe argue. And the umpires are maybe coming together for the call. Maybe kind of give it to him, and they're probably not even really talking about the call there, as that's his call. The base umpire and the difference between home plate umpire.
no, he very well could have just been seeing if maybe ask the home plate umpire, see if he got a better look, because it was a little bit away from his vision. But looks like the right call was made on the field, and Vikings got themselves up.
So now pitch hitting for Jackson Hetzel is going to be number 20, Jackson Elder. So good job that time by Doherty to get the single there. And Elder getting his first at-bat of the year. Elder, a senior. He's a catcher and an outfielder for Tony Perkins. That ball is going to be thrown inside for a ball. That's going to be a strike that time for Elder.
Likes his pitches inside, as you know. That base hit that we saw was inside, and next couple ones were inside as well.
And that pitch is going to be in the dirt and outside. Gets away from the catcher. Moving over will be Matt James and Doherty. So wild pitch will move the runners over. Giving Elder a chance for a base hit to score 2 now. That's going to be a base hit or maybe more. It's in the gap towards right field, and what a catch by the right fielder. Matt James was tagging up. Thankfully, that'll score 1 run, and Elder is robbed of a hit. That's definitely maybe the play of the day right there for Wright City.
How about that for an acrobatic catch? He got himself out there. He didn't have quite the best read on it, but he put himself into a position to make quite the acrobatic catch and got himself a nice grab.
So back up is Mario Colombo. Doherty's at second, 2 away now. It's going to be high. Catcher making a good job getting that one, and poor Elder, you know, that looked like definitely a good ball hit and kept going out. It was blowing in. The wind is.
Definitely well driven. Like I said, it didn't even look like he had that great of a read on it, but made quite the acrobatic catch.
That's going to be a strike against Colombo. 1-1 is the count. Colombo has reached on a single, reached on an air, and struck out looking his first time up. Trying to get another hit, though, like he did last time. And there goes Doherty. Doherty, he's going to slide into third, and he's going to be called out. So that's where we'll end the inning. That's kind of 2 mistakes here on the day from Doherty on the base paths. Nonetheless, it's still a 17-0 score in favor of the Vikings. We'll take a quick break and bring you the bottom of the 4th here on the Howell Activities Network. Bottom of the 4th, 17-0 is the score right now from the Vikings. Vikings doing a good job thus far. It's the top of the lineup, though, once again for Wright City. Williams, the catcher, he'll be batting first here in the bottom of the 4th. Stewart's still out there on the mound. Elder in the left field for Hetzel. Now it's going to be a ball inside. Here's the 1-0. That's going to be called strike on the left side, or right side of the plate against Williams. Subert with 8 Ks thus far. Or excuse me, 6, but he's on the verge of making it 7.
Like I said, he's really been very effective, on the mound today. He has had no problem with his control and has really been finding his target.
Strike 3, set him down. Williams strikes out on that one, just like that. 1 down for the Vikings. Something that the Vikings have different, though, what Subert has differed from the Wright City pitchers. He's moved very, very quickly compared to Wright City. It seems like Wright City definitely takes their time on the mound, but Subert, he's moving quickly. And that's going to be now number 13, Wolf.
Yeah, he's definitely wasted no time going to the plate, which some pitchers work better like that, They like getting into that groove and just go, So it's good to see for sure whenever it's working effectively on your side.
So the 0-1 now, the Wolf. That's going to be hit up high. See who calls it. Subert gets called off that time from, that looks to be number 19 now, over at third base, Jack Bryan making the play. So 2 outs now, 1 more for the Vikings, and this one should be in the bag. So here is now Johnson, the first baseman, batting third today. Subert deals, swing, blows it right by him for the first strike of the at-bat. And his only at-bat, Johnson, he lined out to second base. That's going to be high, another play. Subert to deal to Johnson. That's going to be a ball and outside. Subert was making his way to the dugout, had to come back to the mound. That ball was called outside.
Number 14 Johnson was even heading his way towards the dugout as he thought he got him as well, but good to see another pitch here.
The 1-2 from Subert. Subert gets his side from Colombo. The deal, the pitch, that's a high ball in the infield. James calling everyone off. He makes a play. And Matt James ending this one here at the H. Final score of 17-0, and what a start for the Vikings to just lay the pipe down in their first game of the 2021 season, their first game since 2019. Sorry about that interruption, but what a start for the Vikings, Michael. First game of the year, and they really didn't even look like they missed a beat, and they got that first win under the belt.
Yeah, no beats missed at all from this team, as we saw Subert pitch an excellent game on the mound today, and with the bats, that kind of went without saying. They very effective. 1 through 9. I mean, really, they all showed out today, and even. Like I said, the pitcher even helped himself out. So it was great seeing that, and really look forward, because I think this team might have something special going forward this year for sure.
Absolutely. So final score of 17-0 is the score here at Francis Howell. We'll be back here, I will myself, tomorrow morning at 11:30 as the Vikings look to continue their winning streak. For my partner, Michael Harvey, I'm Will Crawford. Thanks for joining us for some Friday night